All right, good morning, good morning. If you can hear me, clap once. If you can hear me, clap twice. Awesome. Good morning, everybody. Hello and welcome to San Francisco Public Library. My name is Jen, and my pronouns are she and her, and I'm a librarian at San Francisco Public Library. It's my honor to welcome you for the morning. A few things before we get started. As we host you in our beautiful building, can everyone hold up their index finger? Number one, kids, be sure not to lose your adults. If they need to use a bathroom, you are all in luck because they are just outside the door to the right. Okay, number two. Everybody, number two. Peace sign. Okay. If we need to exit the building, don't forget your adult and make sure they listen to library staff directions so we can all walk out together calmly and safely. All right, hands down. Thank you so much. Now I want to acknowledge and appreciate the land we are on, and I need your help. Are you ready to help me by repeating after me and copying my movements? Thank you. Repeat after me. Here is the land. Here is the sky. Here are my friends. And here am I. We stand together, hand in hand. And thank the Ramaitu Shaloni. Let's do that again. And thank the Ramaitu Shaloni, the traditional caretakers of this land on which we like to play. We promise to look after it every day. That was fantastic. Thank you for helping me. Okay, we're going to stop the repeats. Okay, I'm sorry. I know we're disappointed. So just remember that this is your San Francisco Public Library. You might like reading books or writing books or making your own books or listening to books. But today you will meet some of the wonderful, talented writers and artists. They're going to share about their super cool books and maybe more. Finally, throw up your hearts, hand hearts, finger hearts, or arm hearts, your choice, to welcome Nora Peel, Executive Director of Litquake, as we settle in for an awesome morning. Nora.
Thanks, Jen. Good morning, 3rd through 5th graders. Welcome to this year's Kidquake. As Jen mentioned, my name is Nora. My pronouns are she, her. And here at Litquake, we are so excited to partner with the San Francisco Public Library every year to invite kids to spend their day here with us at the library. I love libraries. I love libraries so much that I even have one on my shirt. It's actually this library on my shirt. And not every kid is lucky enough to get to be here today. It's a pretty special thing. So what I'd like you to do now is to look around and find your teacher and give them a big thumbs up or a wave or a high five or fist bump if you're close enough and say thank you for bringing you to the library today. Okay. I want to thank the Mary A. Crocker Trust and the Sam Mazza Foundation for helping to make Kidquake possible. I also want to thank Candlewick Press for donating many of the books that you'll take home today. And I want to thank Books, Inc. and Reading Bridge for selling books here today. They're set up right outside in the lobby if you pre-order books or if you want to purchase some today. I also want to welcome the teachers and students who will be watching these programs on YouTube later and remind you all here today that these presentations will be on YouTube for you to watch and share anytime you'd like. Okay, now I have a couple questions for you. How many of you like to tell stories or jokes to your friends? How many of you like to write down those stories or poems? All right. Well, today we're going to hear from some authors who have turned the stories that they dreamed up into books. How did they do that? Let's find out. First, we're going to hear from Mae Respicio. She's an award-winning author of middle grade novels, that's novels for folks your age, including The House That Lou Built. Her books have been on many best books and state reading lists, and her most recent book is Isabel in Bloom, which is a novel in verse set in 1999 San Francisco, which is probably like when your parents were growing up here, I guess. So let's put on our best listening ears for Mae Respicio.
Thank you, everyone. Okay, good morning, Kidquake readers, and happy Filipino American History Month, which is October, and which is actually every month for me. It's so wonderful to be here. My name is Mae Respicio. My pronouns are she, her. That first slide that you saw, that was my dog, Riggs. And these are a few of my books. So between next year and 2030, I have 8 more books coming out. So it's the thing that I love to do. I read books, I write books, I share about them all day long, and I'm so happy that books can bring us together today. So before we launch in, I've got a quick question, okay? I think this is probably going to be easy for many people to answer, and I want to see a show of hands. Who here loves to read? Raise your hand and keep your hand up if you love to read. So now look around the room and look at all these people who have something in common with you, which is really cool. Okay, thank you. You can put your hands down now. So we have 2 things in common. One is that I'm also, I live in Northern California. That was me. I think you recognize this bridge, right? I was in, the Golden Gate Bridge. I was in 3rd grade in this picture. And the second thing is that I also love to read. So when people ask me questions, one of the top questions I get, probably one of the top 3, is how did I become an author? So I became an author from reading. These were 4 of my favorite books when I was growing up, when I was around your age. So let me tell you something about books and being an author or being a writer. They go hand in hand. The thing that makes me the strongest writer I can be is that I'm a reader. Before anything else, I was a reader first. So reading and writing go together, right? 1,000%. If there's anything that you remember, I want you to remember that reading and writing go together. So for all of you who love to read, and I'd say everyone in this room, you are also writers. So one of the biggest influences on my writing is my culture. It's Filipino American History Month, right? And I grew up Filipino American. I grew up in Stockton, which has a huge, amazing Filipino community. That was me. I danced in a folk dance troupe. I'm the one with my arm up like that. And that was with my grandma on the right at a Filipino festival. And there's a choir in the back, and one of those was my auntie. So when I was growing up, there were not a ton of books with Filipino characters or families, or none, actually, in the 80s and 90s. So it gives me such pride and joy to be able to put my culture into my books. And so that's with one of them. We're going to talk now about Isabel in Bloom, okay? So Isabel in Bloom is a novel in verse. That means it's a novel written all in poems, all in poetry. So we're going to read a few poems, and then before we do that, let me just tell you a little bit more about Isabel's story, okay? The synopsis, what the book is about. So the book takes place in the 1900s, 1999. Isabel is 12, and she's only seen her mom 5 times in 5 years. That's not a lot, right? And that's because her mom is an overseas Filipino worker. That means her mom left their home country of the Philippines and came to the United States to work as a caretaker. And one day, Isabel gets this call, and they say, hey, Isabel, you haven't seen your mom in so long, but you're going to be reunited with her in San Francisco. So Isabel doesn't want to go, right, because she doesn't want to leave her friends. She doesn't want to leave the people who've become her family. But she flies on her own 3,000 miles from Manila to San Francisco to be reunited with her mom. And she hates it at first. You know, she doesn't know the culture. She's new to the country. But eventually she finds some friends, and they find this beat-up old garden that has a few secrets. And this garden is what helps Isabel discover what home means to her. So what we're going to do, we're going to read some poetry, and then we'll wrap up. This book has all kinds of different poetry formats. So if you think a poem has to rhyme, raise your hand. Okay, a few people. So you know what? Not all poetry has to rhyme. There's one called free verse, and free verse is when the poet makes the rules. So let's read a couple of free verse poems, okay? The first one, me, Isabel Ligaya, age 12. I've never lived in a city, I've never seen snow, I've never been rich, I've never had a mother take me to a mall, I've never left the Philippines or ridden in an airplane or wanted to make new best friends because I love the ones I already have. Do you think she wants to leave her country? Probably doesn't. Yeah, she's kind of nervous, right? Feeling hesitant. Okay, here's another free verse poem. Here's when Isabel flies on her own, by herself, to San Francisco. Overnight flight. As the sun leaves the sky, the pilot announces in Tagalog before English, the cabin lights dimming, a smooth flight over oceans. When you wake, you'll be in San Francisco. His voice is deep and buttery, maybe like a father's, though I wouldn't know since Lolo's the only dad I've ever had. I raise the shade and peek out above clouds, above water, into an endless, darkening night, trying so hard to picture my brand new life. So we're gonna move to a different form of poetry. In different cultures, there are different forms of poetry. Maybe you're all familiar a little bit with haiku, which is a common one that we do in a lot of schools. There's a Filipino form of poetry called tanaga, and it's 4 lines. 4 lines is known as a quatrain of 7 syllables each. So let's read a tanaga poem. This is when Isabel's about to meet her mom. There to hear. Why hasn't mama come yet? Like waiting for sprouts to bloom. 5 years down to here and now. Finally, the door opens. You're gonna have to read the book to find out what happens when she opens the door. Okay, so let's do a concrete or a visual poem. So a concrete poem is when the poem looks like the thing that it's talking about. Okay, who has been down Lombard Street here in San Francisco? So most people. Okay, this one's called the crookedest street in the world. Lombard Street is lined with fancy houses and paved with old red bricks that twist and turn, whip and whine, zig and zag, up and down. Legend calls it the crookedest street in the world, even though that's actually Vermont Street, also in San Francisco. But it's fine because this precarious pivoting path is enough to make me forget why I was ever mad about leaving there for here at all. So here's what Lombard Street looks like if you're looking at it from an aerial view. So this poem was actually really hard to write, not because of the subject matter, but because I had to try and figure out how to make it all twisty and windy. So that's what a concrete poem is. Whoa! Okay, is anyone here named Hannah spelled this way? No. So if you were, you would know that the name Hannah is a palindrome. That means it's spelled the same forwards and backwards. So there's also palindrome poetry. Okay, so it's a poem that reads the same forwards and backwards. So let's do a palindrome poem. Mirror, mirror. There I am, there and here, curiously looking, always wondering, cautiously questioning, boldly daydreaming, reflecting, daydreaming boldly, questioning, cautiously, wondering, always looking curiously, here and there, am I there? So if you read it from the bottom line up, it's going to be the same exact poem. There I am, there and here, curiously looking, and on and up. Okay. So for those of you who are interested in writing poetry, I hope you will. There's a lot of prompts in the back of this book that teach you how to write your own poems. And teachers, just really quickly, there's a wonderful educator's guide on my site where you can get all kinds of poetry information for kids. And if you don't see it on there because my site is being redone, just email and I'll send it to you. Okay, fun fact before we wrap up, we're about to say goodbye. How many poems do you think Isabel and Bloom has? 17, 93, or 229? If you think 17, raise your hand. Okay, if you think 93, raise your hand. Oh, okay, if you think 229. Okay, give me a drum roll. The answer is 229. Okay, final poem. Put a bubble in your mouth. Thank you. Final poem. So the fun fact about this last poem that I'm going to read is this poem appears, I think it's the second to last poem, but it was actually the first poem that I wrote when I was writing this book, and it helped me to understand what this book would be about. So let's read this final poem, How Seeds Are Carried. This is Isabel. She's talking to her grandpa. How seeds are carried. A few days before I left for California, I asked my grandfather how flowers can grow in unlikely places like up through cracks in cement. He said, have you ever blown on a dandelion and watched the seeds float away on the wind? Some seeds have wings. They're light with feathery bristles and get dispersed where the breeze goes. They travel far by flight, fluttering to the ground, finding their place, spreading, rooting, sprouting, growing, finding water, turning up to the sun, budding, then blossoming wherever they are planted. A seed always finds its way, Anak, and when it's ready in its own time, it will bloom. So I want you to remember reading and writing go together. To be a strong writer, you have to be a reader as well. And this is my final question for you, okay? Ready? Has anyone here ever shouted in a library? No, oh, that's the wrong answer because we're not actually supposed to shout in libraries. But because this is like such a special thing and we'll probably never have this chance again, we're going to try something. I'm going to count down from 3 and we're all going to shout the word read. It's because I want you to remember when you leave here to read. Read as much as you can. Read what makes you happy. Read what gives you joy. Just read, okay? And I'm going to take a little video, all right? So at my count, ready? Because I want you to read. 3, 2, 1. Thank you, everybody.
All right. Thank you so much, Mae. Now we have something really special for you all. Did you know that some people who write the stories in books also make the artwork that goes in those books? So another question for you all. How many of you like to draw or paint? Okay. Today we're going to meet 2 authors who are also artists, and we're going to pit them against each other in an epic draw-off where you're going to be the judges. So I'm going to have you meet our contestants, Bo Lu and Nidhi Chanani. Bo Lu moved from Taipei to Kansas when she was 7, knowing just 3 English words, apple, banana, and so-so. Before she could speak, pictures were her friends. Now, as an author and illustrator, Bo creates stories where everyone can explore big feelings and feel less alone, even without words. And Nidhi Chanani is an award-winning author and illustrator. Her graphic novels include Pashmina, Jukebox the Shark Princess series, and the Super Boba Cafe series. Oh, we have some fans in the house. She's also written picture books, including I Will Be Fierce, Strong, Benny's Diwali, What Will My Story Be, and Quiet Karima. When she's not making books, Nidhi loves to travel and has visited 20 countries. Okay, Bo and Nidhi, I want you to take your stations. And I'm going to give you your first. I'm going to give the first drawing prompt, and then for the next round, the ideas are going to come from you all. Okay.
I'm scared now.
I know.
This is my first draw off, so you guys will help me, right?
Okay. Okay. I'll come to you with the wireless one from time to time, too. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So here's the first one. It's almost Halloween, so I thought we could do kind of a scary drawing prompt. I'm going to set my timer for 2.5 minutes, and when we all say go, I want you each to draw the scariest thing you might find in the deep, dark back of your fridge. Okay? All right.
Oh my gosh. What do you think that could be?
All right. Okay. So I want you all to count with me so they know when to start, okay? On your mark, get set, go! All right, everybody. So while they're drawing, you can try to guess what it is, but I'm looking for ideas for the next prompt, okay? So here's first I'm gonna look for a who. So I want you to think of a character that could be an animal or a type of person, maybe somebody with a certain job, and I'm gonna be looking for somebody who's sitting quietly with their hand raised, and I will come to you. All right. Looking for a character, an animal, or a person with a certain job. What's your idea for a character?
A pig.
Oh, a shocked pig? Oh.
Pig shark. So like half pig and half shark.
Half shark. A pig shark. I like it. Okay. All right. We'll go with that. Okay. So our character is going to be a pig shark. And what
What
will
should I
that...
add to this?
That's okay.
Fungi.
All right.
Okay.
What should the pig shark be doing? All right. I'm going to... Hi. Oh my goodness. This is disturbing. Okay, so the pig shark will be eating another shark. All right. And where is this happening? Where is this happening?
In the fridge.
In the fridge also? Okay. All right. A whole drama is playing out in the fridge. Okay, so you have 30 seconds. All right, so you'll get another chance to do prompts. I'm going to have you count down with me in just a second. All right. Okay, let's count down the last 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. All right, what do we have here? Tell me about your pictures, Bo.
Okay, what do you think this is? Yes, I heard kimchi somewhere. If you said kimchi, sometimes I leave it in the fridge for a long time and I forget about it, maybe for a year. And I think sometimes the germs grow into a creature and they start eating food from the fridge. There's also a dead rat farting. Thanks to the contributions of you all.
All right. Okay. Nidhi, what do you have?
Okay, what is this? Yeah, it's stinky cheese. Okay, there's some flies. And I had some suggestions up here. There's some moles around the stinky cheese. And I think we both heard the same thing of a request for a dead rat. So, yeah.
Yours go together, though.
All right, so now it's your turn to vote, okay? So, if you want to give the point to Bo and the deadly kimchi, I want to see a show of hands, okay? So raise your hand, okay? All right. Okay, and if you want to give the point to Nidhi and the deadly cheese, okay,
Whoa,
I think I'm going to give the edge to the cheese this time.
Wow.
Okay. All right. I have your second prompt ready to go, so let's get us a clean sheet of paper.
Oh, do you want me? Okay. You got this.
All right. Here's your second prompt. It is a pig/shark. I don't know what that is. half pig, half shark. They are eating another shark in the fridge. So we're staying in the fridge theme. Pig, shark, eating a shark.
All right.
It's a lot to fit in, but this is what's happening. So, okay, on your mark, get set, go. All right. Okay, so I am looking for 3 more volunteers to help me with another character. Okay, right down here in the front.
A moldy rat.
Moldy rat. Interesting. Okay, a moldy rat. Okay, and what might that moldy rat be doing? Let's see if we can find somebody who's sitting very quietly. How about right here? All right, still looking for what that moldy rat might be doing. How about you right here?
In Peppa Pig's house.
Okay, well, it's not aware yet. It's an activity. What are they doing? Eating what? Shrek. Eating Shrek, like the character? Okay. All right,
shark
lots of
have
eating
feet?
happening. Okay. And where is this happening?
The Eras tour.
What was that? Oh, at the Eras Tour? Wow. Okay, this is like a celebrity round. Okay, I got that. All right, how are we doing on our time? We're halfway done with this prompt. Okay. How's it going up here? Oh, a pig shark. I can totally tell that's a pig shark. Yeah.
Oh, that's a really good pig shark. Oh, wow.
All right. I think we're done. You guys look like you're done. Okay, all right. We'll stop there. All right, so tell me about your drawing this time.
Okay. I have a pig head, shark body, eating a shark, who's also eating the pig shark.
Oh.
Kind
Kind of an Ouroboros kind of situation. Yeah, I like
yes.
it. Okay.
And
okay.
Dad Rat again.
Our favorite character. I think
Yeah.
you'll like round 3. Just,
Okay, so I have a book called, I have a whole series called Shark Princess, so I know a lot about sharks. So, but I've never drawn a pig shark before. So I have the pig head, and then there are all different kinds of sharks. There are teeny tiny sharks, so the little teeny tiny sharks are in his mouth. Or her mouth, or their mouth, and then the shark body, and I forgot about the fridge, so I did bubbles. Oops.
all right, so again, show of hands for Bo's pig shark eating a shark who's eating a pig shark. Oh, wow, okay. All right, that's okay. And for Nidhi's pig shark in the bubbly fridge. Okay, I think I'm gotta get Bo the edge on this one. Okay, we have a tie. So, all right,
Whoa.
fresh sheet for our final round. Okay. And here is the prompt. Okay, this time the rat is the star of the show.
Oh.
But the rat is moldy. It's a moldy rat, I don't know. And the rat is eating Shrek, or let's just say hanging out with Shrek. We've done enough eating. Shrek the character, or an ogre more generally. So we have a moldy rat and an ogre at the Eras Tour. Okay, moldy rat and ogre, best friends forever at the Eras Tour. Okay. Good luck is all I can say. And on your mark, get set, go.
You really made this hard. Okay.
Okay, so while they're doing this last one, we have some original artwork up here, right? Right? Original artwork. never before seen, probably never seen again after this. And I would love to give some of these to kiddos who are, sorry, Nidhi. This is so sticky. Exceptionally good listeners. Wow, everybody wants original artwork. Okay. So let's come over here because I haven't been over down this way yet. All right, you can share this in your classroom. Sorry. And one more back here. I want quiet listeners. Here you go. All right, I got 2 more to go. Thanks, Jen. Okay.
What is Taylor
This
Swift?
time,
A dead fish.
I'm coming over here. Doo-doo. Let's see. I have to set this down. Okay, let's see. Who haven't I talked to yet? Let's come back here. There you go. And way back here in the back. There you go. All right. Okay. We do have one last set, of course, to give away. So if you're really good, listen, I'm going to be keeping my eyes open during Nidhi's presentation, and I will hand them to folks on your way out today. Okay? Let's see how we're doing on our time. Oh, my goodness. 4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up. Okay, this is the tiebreaker here. So, Bo, tell us what you drew.
Okay, here's a rat biting at the ear of an ogre at a Taylor Swift's Eras concert. And meanwhile, a fish is dead because it's eating moldy kimchi.
Oh, wow. Coming full circle. I like it.
I totally forgot about the Taylor Swift thing. But this is my ogre. I cannot remember what Shrek looks like. As soon as you tell me a character, and my mind goes blank. So I just drew a giant nose. I started with a giant nose. And then built from there, 2 different eye sizes, a lot of hair, like out the nose, out the cheeks, the ears, randomly on the head, horns or antennae or whatever. And then a little rat friend covered in mold. And that's that's the unlikely friendship, I guess.
The nose
All right,
hair.
quick voting. Okay, who wants to vote for Bo's Eras tour? Okay, and for Nidhi's final drawing. All right, got to give this one to Bo. Thank you all for participating.
Thank you.
Well done.
Okay, so now we need to get our listening ears back on for Nidhi's presentation. She probably could use a couple seconds to take a breath, and so will we. So we're going to do a couple of volcano breaths, okay? So what I want you to do is breathe in and then out.
Okay.
And then one more time, breathe in and breathe out. Okay. So let's all be really good listeners. We already introduced Nidhi. She's going to tell us a little bit about her journey as an author and artist.
All right. Hi, everybody. Thanks so much for being with me today. And I am going to do a few things with you. I am going to read to you a little bit from my most recent middle grade graphic novel. So I am an author and an illustrator, as you got to see. So I write and I draw my books. And so I'm going to tell you a little bit about Super Boba Cafe, and we're going to read a little bit, and then I'm going to tell you how I got this very awesome job being an author and an illustrator. So Super Boba Cafe, can I see a show of hands really quick? Who here likes boba? All right. Now, because I saw that some of you had a reaction when you heard this title, who here has read Super Boba Cafe or knows it? Okay, so that's great. Okay, so if you haven't, I'm here to tell you a little bit about it. Super Boba Cafe is about Aria, who is granddaughter to Nai, or grandmother, and Nai owns and operates Super Boba Cafe right here in the great city of San Francisco, and Aria comes to visit Nai for the whole summer. And she's never visited Nai for the whole summer. And while she's visiting, she realizes that Nai has a secret. Okay? So, I am going to read to you, and I'm going to read the square boxes. Those are called captions. And I'm going to read the round word balloons. Those are the speech balloons. But you are going to help me with anything that exists outside a square or a round box. That is a sound effect. And you'll see the first one on the second panel. Okay. Nai's Cafe is open daily, but never busy. She says neighborhood spots don't need a lot of customers. Can we purr? Purr. All right. I'll start the boba. Don't come in the... I know. You get the first cup? Super boba is delicious. Not too sweet and the right amount of chewiness. Bao, the cafe cat, is so friendly. Purr. You're a perfect little floof, aren't you? I wish more people knew about this place. Welcome. What would you like? I'll take the classic tea with pearls. One for her, one for me. Boba is cooked tapioca balls or fruit jelly. Nai only offers tapioca. Started in Taiwan and now found everywhere. Known by many names, bubble tea, tapioca pearls, boba. Your boba is ready. My dad grew up in this shop, in this city. We usually visit for 2 weeks every summer. After the school drama, my parents agreed to send me for the whole summer. They promised not to tell Nai about what happened. They may have anyway. Grown-ups can't always be trusted. Hi, I'd like 2 black bean and plantain burritos. Extra chips, please. Nai cooks boba all day, so she orders takeout for every meal. More taquerias should make vegetarian burritos with plantains. You say that every time. We will eat like Ranis. Fresh mochi, kati rolls, sourdough pizza, a foodie girl summer. I tried every boba flavor. It's only been 2 days. There are only 6. Have you considered adding... Hi, Sheetal. Hello, Jay. Is this your granddaughter? Yes. Aria, meet our neighbors. Hi. Awkward silence. Nai, I'm going to feed Bao. Sure. Would you like your usual, Jay? Yes, Miss Lee. Please. Thank you. Seasonal flavors? My flavors are good. No need to fix what isn't broken. Classic, jasmine, rose, taro, matcha, strawberry. They are solid, dependable, and delicious, but kind of limited. Nai, why is it so cold here? Now, if you're visiting from Los Angeles to the Bay Area in the summer, you would definitely say that. And that's where Aria lives normally. So we can enjoy ramen for dinner. I called it in. Can you pick it up on your way home? Huh? Where are you going? I have to prep something. Alone. Now, can you slam with me? Slam? Ready? Is Nai mad at me? Oh, cute. Holy sourdough. There are a lot of you. What do you want? Can we all whimper? Whimper. Nice. That was trash, not food. Oh my God, back away, slowly. Nai, there are lots of rodents in your backyard. They're just prairie dogs, harmless. Feed them our chips. They'll leave, then you leave. Toss. Can you guys munch? Nice. Hi, friend. You should definitely not eat chips, but we shouldn't destroy your land, so even? Ramen is around the corner. Did I upset her by suggesting mango boba?
Or maybe Nai has a boyfriend. Girlfriend? I hope she's not sick. She seems fine. I wish she trusted me. And there she's arrived home alone, and Nai comes in shortly thereafter and says, I'm home. I guess we both have secrets. Now, what those secrets are, you'll have to read the book to find out. But I thought I would start with sharing a little bit about how I became an author and an illustrator. It started when I was very young, and I loved a lot of things when I was young. I loved going to school. Anybody here love going to school? This is my school photo. Anybody here love toys? I love my toys. Video game systems count as toys. Okay? And I love cake. Anybody here love cake? Okay. Now, the thing I love the most, though, is books. I loved books. And when I say I loved books, I really, really mean it. And I surrounded myself with books. I got books from the library, the school library, the local library. If I had an event coming up, whether it was my birthday or Diwali or Christmas, I asked for books. And that love of books has continued on through my adult life. These are some of my favorite picture books, and these are some of my favorite comics, okay? And you probably recognize some of those. Now, I grew up, I went to school, and then I also recognized that I really love to draw. Anybody here love to draw? Okay. Anybody here love to draw and maybe aren't so good at it? Okay, so same, all right? I was in my late 20s when I decided that I wanted to get better at drawing. So I came here to the beautiful city of San Francisco, and I went to art school. Because I was not good at drawing. And when people saw my drawings all my young life, they said, that's a drawing. And I never got encouraged, but I loved art, so I wanted to get better at it. And I went to school, and I got out of school, and I continued drawing. And I drew a new drawing every single day of the week for 3 years. And when I was doing this art, I wasn't trying to be the best drawer in the world. I wasn't trying to be the best artist in the world. I was simply trying to teach myself all the things you need to learn when it comes to learning how to draw. Whether it's learning different characters, different backgrounds, different lighting, different colors, different compositions. And I did all my drawing, and I still do, on the computer. I also do watercolor. But this is me drawing my first graphic novel, Pashmina, and I draw on something called a Wacom Cintiq. Now, who here knows what a Wacom Cintiq is? Who here knows what an iPad is? Okay. Now, the big difference between a Wacom Cintiq and an iPad is the iPad's surface is glass. The surface of a Wacom Cintiq is silicone, so it's a little softer. It's a little easier on your hands. And at the time when I started to write and draw books, the iPad wasn't as powerful as it is now to draw. Now, who here has ever drawn on the iPad? Okay, and it's almost the same, basically, as what I do for my books. And I draw in my home studio in the East Bay, but I don't draw alone. I draw with my buddies, my cats, okay? Now, we have 2 black cats now. So on this side, you'll see our older black cat is Sparkles, and a stripy cat is Rainbow, and we have a new kitten, and his name is Waffles. And Waffles likes to accompany me while I draw. And raise your hand if you have animals at home. Awesome. Hey, now I have had the privilege of making a lot of books. I don't even know if this is all of them. But you'll see that top row of books is picture books. Now, sometimes with my picture books, I write and draw them. In the case of Quiet Karima and What Will My Story Be? And sometimes somebody else writes the words, and I get to draw it. For all of my graphic novels, I write and draw the book. Now, who here has ever tried to write a story? Okay. Who here has ever tried to make a comic? Okay. Awesome. All right. Oh. It always starts for me a little bit like this. Okay, so I'm gonna race through this part. And then it goes to a process called thumbnails, where I plan the whole book. Then I take it from the thumbnails to final art. Then it goes into full color. It starts like this, and then I think about my idea, and I think about my characters, what scares them, how they connect, what gets them frustrated, what makes them happy, and how, when they're faced with challenges, they deal with them. But all my stories begin like this and end like this. And that's me.
Thanks so much, Nidhi. Thank you so much. I want to thank you again all for joining us today. We started a little bit late, so we're wrapping up a little bit late. But I'd like to remind all the grown-ups that we do have another group coming in here right after yours. So please do work with our volunteers to exit the auditorium quickly and make room for new groups that are arriving. Also, if your class is registered for one of our workshops, please wait in the lower level and a volunteer will direct you to your workshop location. Thank you so much to all of our book creators today. And to you all for being here. We'll see you again at the library soon.